In this first example, we'll be outlining the A harmonic minor on one string. It's characterized by its raised seventh interval from the regular minor scale. The harmonic minor scale works over resolving dominant chords. In the key of A, that would be E7. You can work this out with any key, either look at a fourth up or a fifth down. So A harmonic minor would work over E7. Now we're going to simply outline the shapes of the harmonic minor, which is part of the cage system. There are 5 shapes, and included I'll show you an octave shape that works around position 1, that goes into position 5 and position 2, which is very common with players such as Yngwie Malmsteen. So in this last example, I'm going to be outlining the chords with the appropriate scale. So for the A minor chord, I'll be playing simply an A minor scale, pattern 1 in this case. I'm shifting through patterns, however I would maybe first practice this with just one pattern, so that you can make the shift once it goes to the E7 chord, or the E major. Because of the major third, you want to augment the 7th on the minor scale, which makes it harmonic minor. So harmonic minor is exactly what we saw before. It's a minor scale with a raised 7. So just try and make those shifts, and hopefully that will train your ear to hear when to use that scale. Well, I hope you got something useful from that lesson. This was the start of possibly a series that I'll kind of carry on from this. In installment 2, we'll look at more kind of triadic ways of playing, the various arpeggios within the scale, and also modes, and some of the common modes like Phrygian dominant. But and licks as well. We may carry it on to look at some licks and vocabulary that you'd use over various chords or chord progressions, as well as maybe looking at some solos where you would see examples of harmonic minor. It happens all the time. It's one of the most underrated scales. I feel it's pretty much in all music, because a lot of music has that 5/1 cadence. It's a very, very common cadence, especially works great in minor keys. So hence the E7 going to the A minor, or an A7 going to a D minor is extremely common, and this is perfect for where you'd use the harmonic minor. So yeah, really the purposes of this lesson was just to kind of quickly whiz through, without explaining too much, that you have 5 patterns based on the cage system. However, we looked at one initial pattern, and the key is really just hearing where to augment that 7th. When you have the E7 chord, which has a major third, you would have to shift the regular minor that you would play over the A minor chord to a harmonic minor, which is basically, think of it as a minor scale with a raised 7th. Or, if you look at the E7 in that chord, because of the third, you would have to therefore outline that third. So it's all about understanding what chords are going on in the background. So for the intended purposes here is just literally to learn some of those patterns, and to make the shift, to learn to kind of make the shift. So if you record yourself doing a vamp, going from E7 down to A. You can just literally do this in one position. You can do it in position 1. Once you're a bit more confident with that, you can move to position 2, position 3, position 4, position 5, etc. And just take it from there. So hopefully, like I said, you've got something useful, and I shall see you again hopefully soon.